Good afternoon, everyone. You're very welcome to Virgin Media Park for today's Munster Junior Schools Boys Cup final between Presentation Brothers College and Christian Brothers College Cork. The two local rivals met just a few short weeks ago now in the senior decider, and today it's all about the Junior Cup as Pres look for a third success in a row this afternoon. They're obviously taking on their rival CBC. It was a 33-31 game in the Senior Cup, and today could be even more exciting with the junior teams on show. Pres won last year, beating Ardscoil Reach in the final, but Christians failed to make the final stages last year, but did make the decider in 2022, which is a rematch of that final that started Pres's unbeaten streak in this competition. We'll go through the two team sheets for today's contest. And we'll start off with Christians, who do make an alteration to their personnel this afternoon. Donal O'Connor is named at fullback, Rory Cullinan is at 14, Thomas Dixon and James Martin make up the midfield, while Eamon O'Sullivan is two position changes in that back row. He moves to the wing this afternoon. Donal Barry and Dave O'Connell are the halfbacks. Front row of Sean Fitzpatrick, Alexander Coakley and Michael Murray. Joseph Neville and Hardy McCarthy are 4 and 5 respectively. Sam Healy is at 6, Reno O'Farrell 7 and Michael Quill 8. A position change there with O'Farrell and Quill both changing roles from last time out. And looking at their substitutes, Danny Lynch, Kieran Newcomb, Adam Carroll, Kinian Haughey, Reuben Cody, Jack Deneen, Cathal Walsh, Darren O'Connell, Jack Long and Aidan O'Shea. Now to the holders, Presentation Brothers College, who also make a change in personnel for this afternoon. Daniel Murphy lines out at fullback, Jack Ryan is at 14, Alex Maloney and Harry Galvin Carty are in the midfield pairing. You've Eddie Dooley coming into the team wearing 11 this afternoon. He replaces Gearóid COUGHLAN, who drops to the bench. David Nolan and Liam O'Brien are the halfbacks, with Darragh O'Mahony, Ronan Toomey and Rory Cahill making up the front row. Conor McLaughlin and Rian Macfarlane O'Shea are your second row partnership for Pres, and Billy O'Connell, Bobby Walters and Tom Murray captains the side and makes up the final selection. Looking at their substitutes, we have Nathan McCarthy, Thomas Laverty, Billy St. Ledger, Ronan Dillon, Donnacha Lean, James Healy, Tom Kelly, Oscar Naughton, Robert Sheehan and obviously Gearóid COUGHLAN, who I mentioned makes the bench this afternoon. So two changes in personnel, a change on either side, but Christians do have a couple of alterations in terms of position changes. So that'll make it interesting to see just what way they approach today's final. Looking at the routes to the final as well, there's plenty of atmosphere coming in. Presentation Brothers College won their semi-final qualifier, beating Castletroy College 50 points to 13, and then advanced into today's decider by beating Bandon Grammar School 28-20 in the semi-final. Christians are also unbeaten this term. They were in semi-final qualifier 2, where they beat Bandon Grammar School 14-12 here in Virgin Media Park, and it was another tight game in their semi-final as they beat Ardscoil Reach 8-7. Well, the two teams are lining out and they're onto the field in front of us. We will have smoke, we will have fire, and we will have an entertaining game between these two. I see a flare already being let off by the Christian supporters to my right, as the two teams get ready for their photographs before the game. It does promise to be an exciting collision between these two arch rivals, as we wait to get the show on the road. Christians really bringing the smoke and the pageantry so far, but Pres are pretty loud to my left as they look for their third Junior Cup success in a row. It's been a few years since Christians last won it. It was the 2020 decider that was cancelled due to COVID, where they ended up sharing the cup that year. And their last final did come here against Pres 2 years ago, which, as I said, started this impressive run by the school from the Mardyke. McCann, the school from Sydney Hill. They're rivals in this competition. They're rivals everywhere. No matter what sport it is, when Christians and Pres are involved, it's always going to be a tantalising affair, to say the least. So we're just waiting for the referee's whistle as David Nolan has ball in hand on a sunny day here in Ballyfahan in County Cork at Virgin Media Park. You couldn't ask for a nicer day in terms of the sunshine, but there is a bit of a stiff wind there, so that could be a factor in this contest. Just waiting for our match official to get us underway. And Nolan will kick off the left boot and will drive play right toward the Christians' 22, and that is a knock on. Pres will immediately retain possession. Of course, they do have the advantage occurring. Will they need it? They want to make it brisk. They want to make a good start. Here's Jack Ryan. Offload back inside from Ryan. Advantage over. And a forward pass, says the referee. So while it looked like Christians were going to cough up possession and did end up coughing up a little bit of territory in their end of the field, they do have a scrum, and the feed will be just inside their 22-metre line on this near side of the field. So just waiting for Dave O'Connell to feed into the scrum. It's taken at the tail by Michael Quill. Quill moving from the flank in that semi-final win over Artscoil Reach. That's a box kick over the top from Donal Barry. Barry finding his man out wide. Looks to be Eamon O'Sullivan, I believe, on the far touchline. But it looked like it was knocked on. Referee had waited a bit to sound the whistle. So we will have a Pres scrum midway between the 10 and 22 metre line on the Christians' half of the field on this far touchline. Liam O'Brien with the feed, taken at the back by his captain, that's Tom Murray. And they run through the midfield, and this is when Pres can really get going. And this man, Daniel Murphy, looks very, very electric. There's Galvin Carty. Takes it into the tackle. But penalised at the breakdown, or Pres. And Christians will have a put into a scrum. Maybe not the start Pres would have liked. A few little errors starting to creep into their game as they try to set themselves right in this opening 3 minutes of play here in Virgin Media Park. Christians again with a strong scrum. They will go wide, and that ball is intercepted! And it's going to be a try potentially for David Nolan. And almost out of nowhere, Presentation Brothers College have the lead. It's a 5-0 lead. Christians playing it out. Donal O'Connor looking to get the ball. It just goes behind him. And David Nolan, quick as a flash, picks it up and made no mistake to drive over the line for the opening score of the contest. And with 4 minutes gone, I just said maybe the errors were coming into their game, but it's an error for Christians that cost them 5 points. And with Daniel Murphy with a conversion attempt right in front of the post, you'd imagine it's 7. Murphy, no mistake from the fullback. 7 points to 0 in favour of Presentation Brothers College. Outstanding try by David Nolan. And while Christians were doing very well in their play, they will be kicking themselves to have left 7 points. Maybe a very easy 7 points, it has to be said. just that one error in their game plan. It's unlucky. On days like today, it's those mistakes that can really, really cost someone. But now they have to regroup, and they kick it long. But Prez can recycle it just outside their 22. Liam O'Brien potentially eyeing up a box kick here. O'Brien with the left boot trying to bring play toward halfway. He does. Christians on the far touchline trying to get the space. Having just conceded, they want to get back, and they have a penalty. Potentially not releasing there. So they have a chance to kick for the corner. And that ball does find touch just inside the 22-metre line in the Prez end of the field. Donald O'Connor, who was involved in that move just a few minutes ago for that opening Prez try, manages to find the touch. And now the ball trusted into the hands of Alexander Coakley. But Prez recycle it. It's going to be knocked on for sure. So we will have a scrum as the ball just came out of that line out. A little bit too harsh from the Prez point of view to try and retain it. The Christians will be happy to get possession back into their hands. And are in a very dangerous part of the field. They will want to get moving. They will want to get the chance. They have plenty of exciting runners waiting as O'Connell turned around to see just who was in support and where to throw this. Gives it to Nolan. Nolan goes inside. An evasion of the tackle. This ball going to be going out toward Eamon O'Sullivan. Eamon O'Sullivan with a grubber kicking behind. Will he get touch of it? He will not. It's retained by Galvin Carty. Great defensive fortitude by the centre. And the box kick from O'Brien finds touch just outside his 5-metre line. So pressure still on. So here's a tester. Christians will want to get their maul working. And it's Coakley with ball in hand. Coakley will throw to the front. It's intercepted by the number 4. That's Conor McLaughlin for Presentation Brothers College. And O'Brien box kicks again. This one is a bit better. It goes outside his 20, outside his 22, maybe just on the 22 marker. Just waiting to see where our touch official tells Coakley he stands just on the marker. So it's a little bit of an ease in terms of the pressure. But the last couple of lineouts haven't worked for Christians. Can they make this one work? Again, it's intercepted, but it's back with Christians as it's knocked on. And Christians will take it into the tackle. They will work it. Sam Healy. Every inch is going to matter for them. Donald Barry taking the ball into the tackle. Prez defending very, very well. Strong pack. Making it difficult for Christians to get a little bit of room to work here. The likes of Sean Fitzpatrick, Coakley and Michael Murray, the front row, will have to act as battering rams to try and get through this wall of Presentation defence. Still we play on, but Prez have a penalty occurring at the breakdown. And after soaking up a serious amount of pressure in these last few minutes, heading in toward the 9th minute of play, they're 7-0 up, and they do have the ball back into the hands of David Nolan to try and kick for touch. Nolan's eyeing up the far touchline. And Nolan will kick. It doesn't find touch, but it's inside the 10-metre line in the Christians' end of the field, and it's Donald O'Connor that will take it. O'Connor starting today, didn't play in the semi-final against Arts Gold Reach. Christians with the play just midway between the 10 and halfway line. That ball is knocked backwards, and they will go again. As Harry McCarthy that's tackled to the ground. Christians now put under a little bit of pressure by Prez. Heave is the cry from the Christian supporters as they egg their team on to get more possession and get them back in to the presentation end of the field. James Martin absolutely sandwiched between a few Pres players there, and that ball is intercepted. It looked to be intercepted by Ray Macfarlane O'Shea, but again it just knocks on from him. So there is advantage occurring. I don't think it is a deliberate knock on. He was going for the intercept, but on this occasion just not working for him. We will have a scrum for Christians. Ball back into the hands of Dave O'Connell. They get a chance to breathe. We will have a little bit of a stoppage in play for the physios to come on, and maybe a bit of mentoring coming in from the Christians end as we tick past 10 minutes. Advantage is with Pres. Plenty of atmosphere and a good crowd here as well today. Absolutely lovely day for it. Christians fans wondering, is this a library? Wouldn't know Virgin Media Park to be one, but you'll definitely get a good bit of learning here. And for these two teams, they will be, of course, fulcrums to their Senior Cup campaign squads for the next few years. So they're going to want to be getting the attention of their senior counterparts. And this Pres production line is producing some sensational players. That ball goes back in from O'Connell. And it's taken back at the tail. And away go Christians. And again, it's James Martin that gets a nice little bit of space. Goes back to Barry. Barry kicks long. Does he find touch? It does not find touch. As Daniel Murphy takes it, look at the breeze, it just dragged it more toward the touchline. There's some fancy feet from Eamon O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan is taken into the tackle. Now Pres will go wide. That's a bit of a harsh tackle. But play on, and that grubber kick on the far touchline just rolled its way into touch for Murphy. He tried to get a bit of space. But on this occasion, the fullback will force another line out. And the Christians line out is not functioning well this afternoon. Pres have managed to stop them all from forming. They don't on this occasion. As Christians look to maul inside their 10-metre line, aiming toward halfway. It's stopped. But Pres straight onto Donald Barry as he tries to get a little bit of space to make something work. But they do have a penalty, and this is a chance now for Christians with Donald O'Connor to give a nice little bit of territory inside the Presentation Brothers end of the field. Gives it a wallop, but it just slices maybe outside of the right of the boot and only brings play just inside his own end of the field. Not a whole lot of yardage. Christians with another line out with Coakley to take it, and it's going to be going to the tail. Who's down on it? It's Bobby Waters, and now Pres can work it through the field, work it through the wings, and here's Jack Ryan and Murphy, both electric when they get going. Murphy is tackled by his opposite number, Donald O'Connor, and that ball is intercepted. It's turned over. Can Pres return it over? They don't, but the Christians win a penalty off of it. A bit of incredible defending by Christians. And there's another flare let off. That ball is kicked smartly by O'Connor and brings play just inside the 10-metre line, inside the Prez end of the field. Coakley and Sean Fitzpatrick having a word to try and get this line out functioning. It goes to the front. But illegal at the breakdown. And despite a terrific take by Harry McCarthy, an infringement at the breakdown awards Prez a penalty. Nolan, he's left-footed. It favours a left-footed kicker. And he'll take a little bit of possession out of it. Just it brings play around the midway point between the halfway line and the Christians' 10. Still 7-0 with 15 minutes gone here in Virgin Media Park. That's a beautiful line now. Christians not contesting it. And now Prez will work it through the midfield. That's a terrific tackle on David Nolan. The Prez 10. Christians doing well to keep them boxed into their own end of the field. They have lost yards from that line out. And Christians will do very well to try and force them into an error here. But there's Nolan. And it's a bit of a slip from his opposite number. But play drops. The ball drops, should I say, into the 10-metre line into the hands of Donald O'Connor. But O'Connor is taken into the tackle. Christians now looking to recycle it. Goes into the hands of McCarthy. They'll keep going short. Ball still with Christians as they get toward halfway. And they do have an advantage at the breakdown. And it's another penalty. And O'Connor once again is eyeing up this near touchline. Will he have the distance? Just on this occasion, it's the same as the last one. And it's Nolan. Nolan will try and kick it in behind him. The ball does bounce into the hands of O'Connor. O'Connor will kick. It's a bit of tennis. But Prez will recycle it down this far touchline. They don't have much yardage. They will have to cut back inside. Christians getting the bodies back. And Christians again forcing Prez into an error at the breakdown. And it's another penalty. Both teams are infringing. They are causing themselves a degree of error. And we'll have to wait and see what way this will develop toward the latter stages of this contest. Not a whole lot of yardage again got on that Christians penalty. They're still inside their own end of the field in the Sunday's well end here at Virgin Media Park. Christians will try and get this line out working. They do again. Not opting to go against the maul. They'll go with the phases of play. Try and link up in this midfield. There's another handling error. And it awards a turnover of play. And Liam O'Brien will get ball in hand for Prez in this line out. Or this scrum, should I say. But all coming from that line out, they had them all. They opted not to go for it. They went through the phases. But just at the breakdown again, it's another error. Just something that they will want to get right as the clock ticks toward the 20-minute mark. That ball is loose. Who's on it? Well, it's still with a Prez man, as O'Brien will take it back. They go short. And it's Nolan giving the ball as they go wide again. They have so much fortune from going wide. And it looks to be Eddie Dooley on this far side, getting ever closer toward the try line. Christians under pressure. Prez looking lively. O'Brien to Nolan. Nolan to Galvin Carty. Galvin Carty frays it long toward Jack Ryan. Maybe a bit too long. Ryan sidesteps inside. Murphy for company. Upshot to go with him. Goes forward. Ball still in a dangerous position here for Prez to work a score. It's taken by Darrow O'Mahony. Another chance of a score. Rory Cahill takes it. Christians defending very well. They will go to the far side. Nolan, Galvin Carty. They will work a score. It's Dooley. It's a second try. It's a 12-0 lead. Looks to be Eddie Dooley, the number 11. Just waiting on the confirmation. That's where he has been roaming. Of course, trying to see jersey numbers in the sun is proving a little bit difficult. But it is indeed Eddie Dooley. What a fine head of hair on him. We'll spot him now from a country mile away. It's a difficult conversion from Daniel Murphy, the fullback. Murphy strikes it. Touch judge's flag stay down. It misses on this occasion, but it's a 12-0 lead for Prez with 21 minutes gone. Eddie Dooley over in the corner on the far side. Beautiful phases of play. Christians are readying a change. That's the number 23, Darren O'Connell, is coming onto the field of play. Waiting to see a number that has come off. Haven't seen a Christians player. In fact, he's just informing his teammate that he is coming off. While Eddie Dooley just gets a small bit of a looking at by his physio. So Christians have made a change. So we will see Darren O'Connell coming in. And he will replace, as I'm just waiting to see the number of the Christians player that's come off. That ball is kicked off and we're back underway. It's Rory Cullinan, the winger, is off. So an early change by Prez. Or for Christian, should I say. Christian still have it. And go through the middle is Donald O'Connor. Donald O'Connor, left, right. He's sent to the ground. And that ball is intercepted. And Prez have it, but it's a forward pass. That was some terrific footwork by Donald O'Connor, the number 15. But again, it's stout, strong defence by Prez that has kept Christian scoreless in these early phases. So now Christians with a scrum inside the Prez 22. A chance for Dave O'Connell to get his scrum working, get it functioning, and get this ball quick into the hands now of Barry. They will go and drive through the middle with James Martin. The ball goes back out toward Barry. Barry takes it into the tackle. And Christians have a penalty occurring. There is the shot at 3, but facing down the wrong end of a 12-0 scoreline. I thought they would go for the corner, but they are going for the 3 on offer. And it will be Eamon O'Sullivan, who was fullback last weekend, or last time out in the semi-final against Artsgull Reach, moves to the wing this afternoon, as Donald O'Connor has come in at fullback. The calmness descends, but that kick is right and wide from Eamon O'Sullivan. That is a big let-off for Prez, not to concede any points there. They will still have a 12-0 lead. And O'Sullivan won't be happy that that kick went to the right of that right-hand upright. But Christians will take it back in hand, and they will have Sam Healy to drive up towards the Prez 10. But the advantage will go the way of Prez at the breakdown. Another infringement, and it gives Nolan a chance to boot this ball. It's not Nolan, it's Daniel Murphy that's going to take this one, and he's going to change direction. Maybe catch Christians a bit unawares. He's taking a bit of time. But well worth it in the end for the yardage that he has gained. Midway now between the 10 and 22 metre line. An absolute booming kick from the fullback, Daniel Murphy. Some tremendous range. And now the ball back with the hands of Ronan Toomey. The maul goes down, but the ball is still there. It'll go to the hands. Galvin Carty. A bit of a mistake, but the ball is knocked backwards. O'Brien will scamper to take it. He's tackled immediately. Nolan gives it back to Murphy. Murphy box, just a little chip over the top, but it goes into touch midway between the 10 and 22 metre line on the Christians' end of the field. A mistake, and Prez won't be happy just with how that line out played out, and at the coughed up possession, and with the ball now at the other end of the field, the opposite flank. It gives Christians the chance to take it and work something out of it, and they take it at the front. The maul is breaking left and right, and Prez are like a pack of hungry dogs going for it, and they put them under enough pressure to force another crucial turnover. And at such a pivotal end of the field as well, it gives the chance for Nolan to kick, destined for the corner. Nolan doesn't exactly find the corner, but what he does find is a halfway mark between the 22 and 5 metre line, inside in that Christians' end. A 12-0 lead thus far for Prez. And Christians will be out to do well here. But there's an error at the line out. It's a knock-on, says the referee. And Christians will have a put-in to the scrum. That put-in just inside, or just outside their 5 metre line. I see Nolan, or Donald Barry should I say, getting his way into the position, into the pocket for a potential clearance kick. They're in such a dangerous area of the field, they will want to clear their lines, but instead they go short, and once again it's Harry McCarthy that takes it. They will work it through the hands, opting instead for the kick, but we could see it from the boot of Dave O'Connell as he takes it here at the tail. O'Connell would chip it over the top. It looks for the sideline. It does go into the sideline. And just outside the 22, midway between the 22 and 10 metre line of the Christians' end, we will have a Presentation Brothers line out. All in all, the pressure is very much still on Christians. We're approaching half an hour. A very strong first half, but that line out isn't legal. That throw wasn't straight, and we'll have to go again. So we're just waiting to get underway again here with this scrum. Can Christians work a score before half-time? Ball into the hands of Donal O'Connor. O'Connor kicks it, but that ball goes out of play. Donal O'Connor is looking a live wire when he gets going. But just on that occasion, a foot in touch stops what looked a dangerous move from orchestrating into a potential score for Christians. Perez worked the line out well, and they take it into the hands of Galvin Carty. He takes 3 Christians men for company. Ball back into the hands of Prez. They work it towards halfway. They still have it, but Christians not giving them an inch. As I say that, Prez back on the attack, and they still have it. Ball into the hands of Billy O'Connell. Billy O'Connell offloads it just outside the 5-metre line. But an error at the breakdown, and Christians again breathe a sigh of relief. But Prez, again, they're in that situation where they are working the score, but it's not going their way. That ball will go to touch, and that will be half time as the teams break for the dressing rooms. It's a 12-0 lead for Presentation Brothers College, and we'll be back for the second half in a few minutes' time. So we're back for the second half of today's Junior Schools Cup final. I do see a change on the Christians team. Reno Farrell has made his way to the dugout. And also number 11, Eddie Dooley, is now wearing 28. I believe he got a small bit of blood on the jersey. So that's a slight alteration. But I do see 21, Jack Deneen, and number 16, Danny Lynch, are both on the field of play for Christians as we start the second half. So potentially Alexander Coakley is not on the field of play for the second half. So just have to wait and see as the play develops. There's another bit of smoke deployed on the far touchline. That ball is kicked into the air. Who's it going to go to? It's a Christians man, and it's a bit of a high tackle from Tom Murray. And Tom Murray has given the ball away, and it's going to be a penalty. But it's another kick that just doesn't work for Christians. And Donal O'Connor has the head in the hands, wondering just what's going wrong today at the office, off the boot. It's just not working for Christians today when it comes to kicking out of the hands. And it awards Prez a scrum just outside their 22-metre line. So, ball at the hands of Liam O'Brien as we get set for another enthralling 30 minutes. It's all Prez at the moment. Next score, very much crucial. Daniel Murphy. That is a booming kick from the fullback. Just inside the 10-metre line, inside in the Christians' end. Christians going down on this far touchline. Ball's kicked over the top. It's going to be Donald Barry. Donald Barry just slips. And the ball is knocked on. You have to look and wonder what bad luck Christians have materialised coming into this game. Whether it's broken mirrors or a few black cats coming across the road in Balfahan, the luck is just not with Christians this afternoon. It's another let-off for Prez. They're 12-0 to the good. They have the put into their own scrum just on their 5-metre line. And it's Galvin Carty. Galvin Carty with a bit of fancy feet to bring play just outside his 5. They will look for the box kick. It's Daniel Murphy. Murphy finds touch. It's not. It's knocked back in play. Referee on the touch official on the far side has the flag up and says the ball was out. It looked to be knocked back in basketball style. But it looks like Eamon O'Sullivan on that far touchline. But the touch official says that it came off of a Christians man, and Prez will have a put into their own line out. Will have a put into the line out and they're on into the field just on their 10-metre line. The take is good. It's gathered by Conor McLaughlin. That ball now fast through the centre of the field. They go toward this near touchline. There's Jack Ryan. Ryan gives the ball to Daniel Murphy. Daniel Murphy has pace. Daniel Murphy will run. Murphy is through. Murphy going under the post. It's a third try for Presentation Brothers College. I said Murphy was electric, and the sheer pace enough to get his way through the Christians tacklers. It's 17-0. And that is a massive, massive score to start off this first half, or second half should I say. Murphy eyeing up a second close conversion. Murphy converts his own try. It's a 19-0 lead for Prez. 5 minutes elapsed in the second half. The way they can transition the defence into the attack, it really is a joy to watch. And Daniel Murphy will be one to keep an eye on with Prez over the next few years. That is a terrific score by the young fullback. One-way traffic, it has to be said, with a 19-0 scoreline. The luck not favouring Christians. But can they get a score? That kick from Murphy was blocked down, but they managed to recycle it. It's going to go back into the hands of Nolan. Nolan slides the ball in toward the Christians' half of the field. Take it into the hands of Eamon O'Sullivan. And O'Sullivan, it goes out, straight out of play. And that will be a line out just inside the Christians' end of the field. And it will go the way of Prez. Christians are readying changes. They're looking to turn this game on its head. And I can see the number 18, Adam Carroll, and number 25, Aidan O'Shea, getting ready to come on as Prez retain their line-up, but are tackled fairly abruptly by Christians, and it does enough to force an error at the breakdown, forces the turnover, and gives Christians the chance to get ball into the hand. Eamon O'Sullivan will look for touch, finds it on this occasion. It's just inside the Prez 22. And Aidan O'Shea is on the field to play for Christian Brothers College. So he comes onto the field, the number 25. And the man who just kicked that ball into touch, Eamon O'Sullivan, is off. That ball is short at the line out. They're driving maul. It's turning, it's twisting. But where's the ball? It's at the hands of O'Connell. They try and take it a little bit closer toward the line. They are gaining the yardage. Prez still not exactly giving them a whole lot of room to work with. But Christians are working their socks off to get towards the line. The ball still, Christians go in search of a score. They're 19-0 down, 8 minutes elapsed in the second half. They need a score. What can they work from? That ball taken by McCarthy. Harry McCarthy, the number 5, drives close toward the 5-metre line. They're getting closer. They have support if they need it in the midfield. They will go there. Here's Barry. Donald Barry, left, right. But that ball is turned over. But advantage was occurring. They will come back. And they will have a new man coming onto the field potentially. Adam Carroll was ready to come on, but he was told to stay back. They're not coming on just yet. And Christians will go for the tap and go. And Michael Murray looks to have the ball in hand. Will look to get this move going. Will look to be the battering ram to get this try going. He goes short. Goes for Murray, or goes for McCarthy. Christians are inches away from the line. This is pivotal. It needs must. They need the score, and they must get it. And it's a try for Christians! And it's the number 6, Sam Healy. The foxy head of hair on him. Enough to squeeze his way over. The tightest of margins from close range. Sam Healy was the last Christians player on the ground, so it looks like he was the man that got the score. And Adam Carroll is on the field to play now to replace Michael Murray in the front row. But it's 19-5 as Donald O'Connor eyes up the conversion attempt. silence descends on Virgin Media Park. And that ball is kicked between the uprights by Donald O'Connor. Maybe a bit more soccer styley or Gaelic football. It looked like he hit it right on the inside of the boot. Bit of a different stance than you see from other kickers. But nevertheless, it goes between the posts. It's 19-7. We're 10 minutes gone in the second half. Christians are on the board for the first time. And can this change the outcome? Can they get the momentum now working in their favour? As Sam Healy could be, well, the catalyst that gets Christians back into this final. Now, they will have the ball off this restart. And they will have to get back up the other end of the field here if they want to stay in this contest. Ball goes back out. Christians have it. They're trying to go through it. That ball is stripped out and it goes into the hands of Eddie Dooley. The number 28 didn't start with that. Now wearing the number 28 due to a little bit of blood on what looked to have been a blood on the 11 jersey he wore at the start of the contest. Of course, the second try scorer for Prez in this contest. That ball is loose. Where's it going to bounce? It bounces away, but it's a knock-on, says the referee. It bounced back toward Prez in a nice area for them. But it's back with Christian Brothers College. So it's a scrum with the put in going the way of Christians as Dave O'Connell again looks for a strong feed for his pack to get working. And as they're just outside the Prez half of the field, they will want to get motoring and will want to get that little bit closer to getting yardage with just less than 20 minutes left in this contest. They bring play just outside, just inside the halfway line. That's a box kick for Murphy. Murphy takes it off of Barry. Murphy kicks it back to Barry, says you can have it back. Barry says I'll run with it, and runs it just inside the Prez half of the field on this near touchline. The number 8, Michael Quill, acting as scrum half. And it's another impedance at the breakdown by Prez. And it gives Christians the chance to kick for touch. Gives them that opportunity to work the score, work it, and try and get something out of it. So now it's going to be Donald O'Connor. O'Connor strikes it, and strikes it inside the 22-metre line. So can Christians use this momentum? They have Danny Lynch to feed the line out on this near side of the field. Lynch goes to the front. It's won well, and here comes the maul. It splits. It brings it to ground just inside the 22. They will have to go through the phases. That's the number 21, Jack Deneen, of course, on at half-time. That takes the ball. Christians have a wall of presentation, jerseys in front of them. And here come Christians. And there's O'Connor. O'Connor, left, right, getting play towards the 5-metre line inside in this Presentation Brothers half of the field. Christians go through the phases once again with Donald Barry ever so close. Prez have to regroup. They have to be mindful. They have to be patient. And it looks like the ball has been turned over. It has. Prez are living dangerously. They do manage to kick it, but it only goes to their 22-metre line. And it's this man again, Donald O'Connor, who's been superb today. This ball is going on the near side of the field. Can they get our score out of it? It's Darren O'Connell. Again, Prez regroup, and it's a penalty for Christians. Again, it's an infringement at the breakdown. Send that ball to touch, by the looks of it. And it's a yellow card for a Prez man. It looks potentially like Liam O'Brien, the scrum half, right in front of the Christian supporters. He gets sent to the naughty step as they have to go and get a steel chair for it. No WWE about it. He has to get a chair. So 15 makes 14. It's not O'Brien. Actually, it's Bobby Waters, the number 7, that's gone off. So that's a member of the Prez scrum that is missing. So now we get set. 15 against 14. And with a 12-point margin, Christians have the numerical advantage, but can they reduce the deficit? Ball going through the hands as they bring play closer toward the 5-metre line inside in the Prez end of the field. Again, Prez defending very, very well, very diligently. That ball has worked. But where is it? As Prez try and gather it, they will go wide. They will take it. But Prez again defending very, very well. Trying to force an error here. That ball is going wide. But again, Prez are doing very, very well to stop them in their tracks. But it's a driving little bit of a maul. Will we see a score? Will we have more drama in the second half? But that move comes to an end, and it's a big, big, big penalty awarded for Presentation Brothers College. Or big turnover, should I say, more so than the penalty. Right close to their line. Christians were knocking on the door again and again and again. But Prez have done very, very well in their defensive strategies. And while they are missing Bobby Waters, who's a significant member of that pack, a real linchpin in that back row, they are doing very, very well since he's gone off to hold on and forced a Christian's error in that move. We will have a couple of more Christian substitutes. Killian Haughey and Ruben Cody, the 19 and 20, look both set to come on as a Christians player will come off. I think it might be David Nolan. But while we wait for that to happen, or not Nolan, actually one of the other, Donald Barry should I say, one of the other Christians players is wearing a similar scrum cap. So I believe he will be coming off the field. He is off the field, but they haven't made the sub to my knowledge. But play still develops, and Christians still showing no signs of backing down here. That ball is still inside the 22-metre line. They get close, they're driving it. Give me an inch and I'll take a mile. They try and work it through. Cathal Walsh, the number 22, is on the field to play as well. Not entirely sure when he came on. And Christians take a quick penalty. And Tom Murray, the captain, might have been a bit exuberant in that tackle. Christians, they have space out wide. They don't go for it, they go through the centre. Pres are still defending very, very well. And it's a knock on. And the number 19, Killian Haughey, and 20, Ruben Cody, are on the field now for Christians. So it's more change. And the number 4, as Joseph Neville is off the field of play. And just waiting for the jersey number of the other Christians player that's come off. It's the number 21, Jack Deneen, who came on at half time. He's gone off the field of play. And I believe that Cathal Walsh, the 22 for Christians, had come on for Dave O'Connell, the scrum half. I haven't seen O'Connell in a while, but I might be mistaken. The Christians' jersey numbers are a little bit difficult to read from a distance. It looks like Bobby Waters has served his time on the steel chair and will look to come back onto the field of play. Pres trying to get onto the field of play, but will still remain in their technical area just for the time being. While we have a dangerous line out inside in the Pres end of the field. Christians ball in hand. Christians go to the front, but it's intercepted. And where's that ball going to go? It's going to stay just outside the 5 metre line on the far touch line. And it's Nolan under a bit of pressure, kicks it. The ball bounces out of play just inside his 22 as his number 7 is back on the field. So it's 15 against 15 once more. And with 8 minutes left, plus whatever the referee decides to add on, it's a 12-point game in favour of Pres. And it looks like Rory Cullinan, the number 14 for Christians, is going to make his way back onto the field. Of course, he did come off earlier on in this contest. It's another line out that's stolen. RPBC on their way to a third junior title in a row. Time running out for Christians to make something work and turn this game on its head. They're getting behind their team, or Christians, giving them every bit of encouragement that they can muster up. That ball is kicked long. It's into the hands of O'Connor. Now they're going toward this near touchline. Ball still in hand. They cut back inside. Darren O'Connell on this near side looked open. They decided to go back in play. In fact, there's Dave O'Connell. So not entirely sure who Cathal Walsh did come on for out of the selection. It's turned over, but infringing, says the referee. Christian's going to take it quick, but not on the referee's whistle, says our match official this afternoon. You have to wait. Christians making another change, and it's Cullinan back on. And Pres are making a change as well. They're number 25. That's Garrod COUGHLAN. COUGHLAN started the last day. Darren O'Connell is the man who went off for Christians. And the change for Prez. We'll see COUGHLAN make his way onto the field of play for potentially Jack Ryan. Just waiting to see his number on the back of the jersey in front of me. We have had a few changes as we see yet more smoke coming out of the Christians' end. It's the number 12, Harry Galvin Carty, that's gone off for Prez in these final few minutes. So not entirely sure what happened in the build-up there. They will have to go again. Referee wasn't happy the first time around. So Christians take it just inside the 22-metre line in this Prez end of the field. 12 points the deficit, 5 minutes left on the game clock here in Virgin Media Park. But then we will have a few extra minutes for stoppages. And it's O'Connor again. Prez not happy that there was something occurring at the breakdown there. They heave toward the line. Trying to make another Grand Slam finish like we saw in the senior final between these two rival Cork schools. Prez defending well. That ball is dropped. It's knocked on. That's a turnover for Prez in a vital end of the field. It's ball to Nolan. Nolan kicks it. Finds touch. It's not a good kick by him. And Ronan Dillon, the number 19, is making his way onto the field for Prez. And I see 21. Jack Deneen is now back onto the field of play. So there's a big shuffle of the pack going on at the moment for Christians. For Prez, I'm just waiting to see who's come off. It is their number 6, it's Billy O'Connell. But now Christians. Can they get the score? They're knocking on the door yet again. Prez not letting them in. Looking to get the space. Prez are very, very strong. They're moving it ever closer toward the 5, but it's turned over, but it's an infringement occurring, and the ball is back with Christians. Option for the tap and go here will be the option. We will have a stoppage in play at such a late stage of the game. 58, nearly 59 minutes now elapsed. I see another Christians change. Kieran Newcomb, the 17, is on. Fresh legs right now at a premium for both of these two teams. Just waiting to see who's come off now for Christians. They get ready for this dangerous tap and go penalty. They will tap it, they will go, they will drive, they will try and get over. Ball just outside the try line. Are they over? They're close. They're over! It's a try for Christian Brothers College. And it looks to be the big frame of Harry McCarthy, the number 5, that's done it. The extras on offer will be crucial. It's over the bar, as they'd say, down the road. In the GA fraternity, it's between the posts today. Donald O'Connor, with that interesting strike, makes it 19 points to 14. The 60 minutes is almost up here on the game clock, but we're at the discretion of our match official. Have we still got time? Will we have late drama? Is there going to be a potential replay? I don't believe there is extra time today. But that ball is with Daniel Murphy, and Murphy will strike it. Murphy will chase it. Murphy will not catch it, but it goes back into the hands of a Prez player. That is the number 7, Bobby Waters. They have the possession. They have possession. They take it. It's all about keeping ball in such. We seem to have had some minor technical issues at the end of that contest. Christians had won a penalty, got the play back up towards the Prez end of the field. The ball was knocked on, and from that, the clock was up, and Presentation Brothers College are your 2024 Munster Junior Schools Cup champions. The 3 in a row is accomplished. It was a humdinger of a contest right down to the wire in those final few minutes. But they've done it. They've won it. And it's another 2 in a row for Prez. Their senior team winning the Senior Cup. Their juniors have the Junior Cup. And now come the celebrations. And all you see is a sea of presentation jerseys. And head coach Paul Downs will be delighted that his team got over the line on a score of 19 points to 14. Here in Virgin Media Park. A game that sent plenty of pulses racing in those final few exchanges, including that of the PC attached to our stream that decided to malfunction at such a crucial time. And Tom Murray is getting ready to walk up the steps and collect his prize. Munster Junior Cup champions. So we'll still just wait for the presentation party to get going as they arrive in the stand to our right. So once again, apologies for the technical issues at the end of the broadcast.
Paudie, Sheehan and his assistants Galvin, Macfarlane, John Russell and Liam Conway for refereeing such a fabulous manner. We had fabulous running rugby by two excellent sides, I must say. Well done to Christians on the fight back in the second half, and you made it another memorable final this year in the schools. But we must congratulate Price on winning the double today. Well done, Price. And Nicola here would like to present the trophy to your son, Tom.
And Michael Carroll gives the cup to Tom Murray, the captain of Presentation Brothers College.
Thanks to Christians for a great win today. Made us fight on to the end. Thought they were going to come back, but fought to the end. We won. Thanks to all the parents for bringing us training all year. Thanks to all the lads for making this possible. Thanks to all the coaches coming out training and all the management making all the games, organizing the games for us. The fans. Thank you.
The cup is back in the hands of a PBC captain, Tom Murray, accepting the cup from Munster President Michael Carroll. And it's another successful year for the school from the Mardyke. They're third in a row, and they will celebrate not only their junior success but their senior success as well, as we gear up for another year in 2025. Thanks everyone for tuning in for the broadcast. We'll try and get a word with the winning side if possible, but we thank you very much for tuning in to today's Junior Cup Decider. I'm joined now by presentation Paul Downs. Paul, it's a 3 in a row. It's another success. Be a Pres man.
Yeah, it is definitely 100%. I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little bit sick right now, but yeah, no, look, it's fantastic. It's a brilliant achievement from the school, and there's a lot of lads who were here last year too, so it's fantastic for them.
I suppose it's definitely you're definitely feeling sick after that finale.
Yeah.
Well, we were here for the Senior Cup where a conversion was all that separated Pres from winning it, and a potential replay today. They could have got down the other end. They got a try there. It's the knock on. It wins you the game. Game management by the lads in those final few minutes to hang on.
Yeah, I think we were a bit unlucky on the penalty count, and it kind of let them get a foothold in the game. But fair play to coming at us, and we spoke about it already. It was that Senior Cup last week. You know exactly what Christian's going to bring every time. They're never going to make sure that they try to finish it as best they can. And
you say that as well. I know you went ahead 12-0 at the break, but you knew going into that second half it wasn't going to be that case for much longer. They were going to hit back at you, and they did. And you hang on. You got the third try, just trying to build that momentum and kick on in that second half.
Yeah, definitely. Like we spoke about this inside, that it was really important to get that first score in the second half, especially playing into that wind, because I think it was a lot stronger maybe than you might realise from up the stands. So we knew ourselves we had to play, and I said that was the one thing inside, that we knew we couldn't exit as much. We'd have to play as much rugby as we could. Now I think we'd rather if we played a little bit more, but when we did, we were very dangerous. So.
It is such a sunny day. You wouldn't think that there is a strong breeze, but it is. Conditions probably not too favourable on the kicking count as well. But you have a very strong side here. I know you will probably lose a bunch of these lads next year, obviously with the age bracket and everything, but there's definitely a strong production line coming through for Pres.
Yeah, 100%. Like as in, it's the kids themselves are fantastic, and I think that this group this year, what I said the most important thing was it's not about the talent, it's about the work rate. From pre-season last summer, I could see it after 3 or 4 weeks that they were really hungry, they really wanted it. I think that's the big thing, and I think it's something we really need to push in the school, that we keep going with that, because if we ease our foot off the pedal, we know especially Christian's got to come after us, but everyone else will too, so it's something we would really get to pushing for.
Paul, thank you very much for joining me, and we'll hopefully get a chat with Tom once he gets all the selfies out of the way and celebrations with the lads. But thanks, Paul, very much. Enjoyed the celebrations.
Thank you.
Now I have Tom Murray joining me, the victorious captain for Pres. Tom, congratulations. You must be absolutely over the moon to have climbed those steps and take home the Junior Cup.
Yeah, I'm delighted we got the win in the end. It was a tough game. Christians made good work of it. They came back towards the end, we fought out, got the win in the end.
I suppose you were 12-0 up. You started very, very strong. 2 very, very good tries. Christians battled in that first half, just didn't get their score. When they did manage to get the score, I suppose what was the feeling like, that you know what they're going to hit back? I suppose just try and not completely, I suppose, open the doors and allow them another chance at a score.
Yeah, we knew they're a strong team, so we knew we had to keep working so they wouldn't score again. We have to keep going.
Tell me about that third try, just the way it just transpired into the hands. You've Daniel going over. It's just a trademark counter-attack. The way you managed to get into the strides, the coaching you've done, you can turn defence into attack in a split second.
Yeah, we've worked hard on that, counter-attacking. So we got what we worked on and worked out today.
It's a third success in a row for you. I suppose to joining the Senior Cup team for years to come. But you've done really well, and you have some great coaches here. It's a strong time for Pres.
Yeah, it is. We're doing very well as a school. The rugby here is great. It's great around the school. It's good buzz around the school as well. So it's very good.
What was the feeling like to climb up the steps of the stand and to take the cup this afternoon?
Oh, I don't know. It was a very good feeling. Yeah, very good.
Probably something. Did you get a good night's sleep last night? Not too worrying about too much about the game.
Sure, I tried not to think about it as much as I could, and then I was nervous hit this morning though. To be fair.
Well, Tom, you've managed to take the cup. You are another champion at this grade. So go ahead and enjoy the celebration with your teammates. Thanks for joining us on the live stream. And thanks, of course, to everyone for tuning in to today's live stream. Prez are the champions, 19 points to 14, 3 in a row. It's another strong year for Prez, and we'll be back for another year in 2025. Thank you very much for joining us.